Alright, these notes are on solving one-step equations. The goal to solving a one-step equation is to get the variable by itself. Remember, the variable is a letter, so your goal is to leave the variable on one side and move all of the numbers to the other side of the equation. In order to do this, you need to know that subtraction undoes addition. So if I have a subtraction problem, I want to move the number by adding. Addition undoes subtraction, so if I have an adding problem, I want to move the number by subtracting. Multiplication undoes division, so if I have a multiplication problem, I want to divide to move the number. And division undoes multiplication. If I have a division problem, then I want to multiply to move the number. You must show all of your work. The equations are going to get harder. They're going to get more steps. It is important that you know how to show all of your steps. Right now we're doing one-step equations. When we get to 7-step equations, it's going to be very important that you know how to show all 7 steps so that you can do it accurately. So it's very important that you show all of your work now. Alright, the first thing that we want you to do when you solve an equation is to draw a line down your equal sign. This will separate your two sides. You're going to move things from one side of the equation to the other, and it's visually easier to do that if you have the line there. So draw your line. Now, this is a subtraction problem over here. We have x minus 2. Our goal is to get x by itself, so we want to leave x here on the left, and we want to move the minus 2. Okay, subtraction is the opposite of addition. So in order to move a subtraction problem, we are going to add. So add 2 to both sides. Negative 2 or minus 2 plus 2 is 0. And x plus 0 is just x. So x is now by itself. We moved the 2 to the other side. Anything you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So 3 plus 2 is 5, so the answer here is that x equals 5. If we wanted to check our work, we could go back and plug 5 in to our equation for x. So take x out and plug in 5. If you do this work on the left side and it equals 3, then you're right. Well, 5 minus 2 is 3, which does equal 3, so that must be the correct answer. Alright, the second example, again, draw a line. In this case, the x is over here on the right side of the equation. So we're going to leave it there. That means we're going to move the negative 15, the minus 15 to the other side. You always leave the x and move the number. Okay, the opposite of a minus 15 is a plus 15. If I add 15 to one side, I have to do it to the other. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0, leaving me with x all by itself. And then negative 25 plus 15 is negative 10. Again, if I went back and checked and plugged negative 10 in, negative 25 would equal negative 25 and it would work. Alright, these next examples are addition problems. If you look, this says x plus 5. Okay, draw a line down your equal sign. The opposite of a plus or an addition problem is subtraction. So we are going to subtract 5 from both sides. 5 minus 5 is 0, leaving you with x all by itself. And 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So that's your answer. Again, if you went back and plugged that in for x, you would get negative 2 plus 5 equals 3. Well, what is negative 2 plus 5? Well, it's 3. So 3 equals 3, so that does work. Okay, if I got anything besides 3, then I knew I got the wrong answer and I would have to go back and retry. Alright, this next example. 5 plus y equals negative 12. You want to leave y here and move the 5. Now this is addition, but what you need to be focused on is this 5. This 5 is a positive 5. The opposite of a positive 5 is a negative 5. 5 minus 5 is 0, leaving us with a positive y all by itself, which is what I wanted. And negative 12 minus 5 is negative 17. If I plugged negative 17 back into the original equation, the left side would equal negative 12, the right side would equal negative 12, and I would know that I was right. Alright, if you look at this next set of problems, these are both multiplication problems. A number touching right next to a letter is multiplication. So if you draw a line down your equal sign, which is where you always start, I want to leave y here by itself, so I want to move the number that's right next to it. So I want to move the 3. The opposite of multiplication is division, so you are going to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I'm left with 1y, which is the same as just y. And then on the right side, I'm left with negative 45 divided by 3. Okay, negative 45 divided by 3 is just negative 15. Okay, if I go back and plugged negative 15 in for y, I should end up with the left side equaling negative 45, the right side equaling negative 45, so I know I would be right. Second example, draw a line down your equal sign. In this case, y is on the right. I'm going to leave it there, which means anything else that's on this side of the line I'm going to move. So I'm going to move the negative 10. This is not a minus 10, this is a negative 10 times y. The opposite of times is divide, so I'm going to divide by negative 10. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is a positive 1, leaving me with 1y. 1y is the same as a y all by itself, so now y is by itself. 60 divided by negative 10, if you put that in your calculator, would be negative 6. And that would be your answer. If I went back and plugged that in, negative 10 times negative 6 is 60, so that would work out. Alright, the last set of problems look like this. These are division problems. Okay? Anytime you see a fraction like that, remember a fraction is the same as a division problem. So the first thing you want to do is draw your line. X is over here on the left, so I want to leave X here and move all the numbers from the left to the right side of the line. Okay, the only number I need to move is negative 3. This is X divided by negative 3. The opposite of divided by is multiply. So I am going to multiply both sides by negative 3. Over here, negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So I'm left with 1x all by itself. On the right side, I have 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. If I wanted to go back and check my answer, I could plug negative 6 in. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is 2, so it works. Alright, last example, draw a line down your equal sign. In this particular problem, X is on the right side of the line, which means I want to leave X on the right and move 7 to the other side since it's over there with X. The opposite of divide by 7 is multiply by 7. So you are going to multiply 7 to both sides. 7 divided by 7 is 1, so I'm left with 1x all by itself. And then 7 times 8. 7 times 8 is 56. So that's my answer. If I plug 56 back in, 56 divided by 7 is 8, so it checks out. These next 4 problems are U-tries. Okay, so pause the video, work on them. When you get done, hit play and we'll go over them together. Alright, number 1, draw a line down the equal sign. This is a subtraction problem, x minus 10. The opposite of minus 10 is plus 10, so I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0, leaving me with x equals 20 plus 10, which is 30. Number 2, draw a line down your equal sign. This is a positive 10. The opposite of a plus 10 or positive 10 is minus 10. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. 10 minus 10 is 0, leaving me with x equals 25 minus 10, which is 15. Number 3, draw a line down my equal sign. This is a multiplication problem. 4 butted up right next to an x means 4 times x. The opposite of times is divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, leaving me with 1x equals 16 divided by 4, which is 4. Number 4, draw a line down your equal sign. This is a division problem. X divided by 2. Remember, a fraction is a division problem. The opposite of divided by 2 is times 2. So I'm going to multiply 2 to both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1, leaving me with 1x equals 25 times 2, which is 50.